songwriter, slack key master, speaker, activist, lover of light and life, all terms that apply to Makana, but none truly describe him. We can talk accolades. The New York Times described him as dazzling. His song Deep in an Ancient Hawaiian Forest is featured on the Academy Award-winning soundtrack for The Descendents with George Clooney. He has opened for Sting, Carlos Santana, and Elvis Costello. He's appeared on CNN, the BBC, ABC, and other major news outlets. He's played for the president. His newest album, Ripe, was produced by a multi-platinum producer and boasts contributions by Grammy Award-winning talent. Yet none of it really tells the whole story. Because when Makana happily agreed to do this episode of The Chat with me, his only request was, can we be outdoors, somewhere beautiful? So we chatted on a picnic bench in an ancient redwood forest in Felton, California, and we had a blast. Born and raised in Hawaii, Makana began singing at 7, took up ukulele at 11, and at 12 was given his name Makana, which means gift given freely. By 14, he was gigging professionally, and not long after that, he became known as the youngest slack key guitar master and was mentored by the late Sonny Chillingworth, a legend of slack key. Slack key guitar is a 200-year-old tradition, and Makana is on a mission. Celebrate it, expand it, make it relevant to today's world. He feels in this way he not only keeps Hawaii's musical traditions fresh and alive, he's evolving them. I have loved his music from the first note I heard. He has a unique philosophy and a rare talent. I am honored and thrilled to welcome Makana to The Chat. Hey everybody, it's Karen Hutton and The Chat with Karen Hutton. Sound bite-sized insights from some of the coolest people on the planet. I am here today on a really, really special chat with Makana, one of my favorite, absolute favorite artists, musicians, songwriters, thinker, mind mint manifester, all
Did you
the
say
above.
manifest?
I did.
That's a very popular word here in Santa Cruz.
It is a popular word. And we are in Santa Cruz. We're actually in Felton, in Henry Cowell Redwood State Park, because Makana said, can we do it somewhere outside that's natural? And I said, sure, let's schlep all the gear out here into the middle of the redwood forest. So that's what we did.
Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure. So I'm like trying not to be over the top delirious, even though I am inside, because we're going to hear some music. We're going to talk about art, inspiration. Oh my God, how we're going to capsulize this, I don't know, but
Just
here we
take a
go.
breath.
I feel much better now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
He just sort of soothed my soul. So you're known for your Hawaiian slack key mastery, the youngest in history at one point. You've carried the title so long you may not be the youngest anymore.
Still, slack key was generally music that the kupuna, the elders, played. So I was very blessed to start learning it when I was like 10.
Wow.
But a lot of people haven't heard of slack key guitar, and so I'd like to show a little bit about what it is.
Because I had heard of it, but I didn't know what it was until you explained it.
So slack key guitar is played on a normal guitar, and what it is, it's we slack the keys, just like it says. So I use about 100 tunings, and many different ones.
Really?
And it's kind of like having like a Star Trek holodeck. I can just punch in a tuning, and it just changes the whole environment. It's awesome. And the feel of the music. But so I'm in a tuning right now, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it. I'm slacking the keys. And now, just get the vibe from this. It already sounds Hawaiian.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, once we set the tuning, basically by tuning into a chord, this is like a C6 chord, it's very Hawaiian sounding, I don't have to use my hand to hold the chord anymore. This hand is now free. With my picking hand, I'll get an alternating bass line like this. Over that, I'll weave a melody like this. Usually you would have two guys. One would be strumming the background, and then the other guy playing the lead. With slack key, we do the bass line and the lead in the same guitar, so it sounds like two guitars.
Wow, wow.
So that's Hawaiian slack key. And from there, that's kind of like the root structure for my music, and from there I start creating any kind of music.
It kind of blows me, especially this new album, which by the way, I happen to have right here. This album blows me away because you have some traditional stuff on there, but you also have some of your other styles, and they really do. It's like, I think, am I listening to Hawaiian? Am I listening to modern? It just, you kind of hear, I end up feeling like the RCA dog half the time going, what's he doing? What's he doing? Because it's so woven, like you said. But this is ripe. I think I'm holding it in the right place. It is fantastic. You should run out and get it right now, because I've been listening to it almost every day, and I love it.
For me, music is like a language rather than having to think in terms of genre or something, and being able to use different styles and just kind of like to evoke and emote the emotions that I'm feeling. That's what's important to me. So for instance, going from Hawaiian, that went good.
Yeah, first time.
So there's this song on the new album called Nectarine, and it's kind of a cute love ballad. I'll play a little bit.
I love that song.
I saw you the other day at the grocery store. Ooh, you were oh so right. I went to pick you up when you fell on the floor. Then I felt the softness of your skin make my spirit soar. Anything else just wouldn't do. Bananas, papayas, and mangoes too. A kiss on your navel brings me close to you. I press you to my lips. Ooh, yeah, la, 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 la. Ooh, yeah, la, 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 la. It's a little taste of nectarine.
Yeah, a little taste of nectarine. I love that. It's such a sexy, tasty, juicy little song.
So when I'm writing, it's like when you're saying you listen to the album, like it's so diverse, and I think for me, like I've always wanted to just bust genres. Like I can't stand that artists have to like be categorized into genres just because of our filing systems.
Right.
I mean, we don't even have record stores anymore. So what does it matter? Everyone listens to Pandora or iTunes Radio now and mixed playlists. So for me, it's always been natural to just mix it up, to go from doing that's like a cultural music, Portuguese or Hawaiian or Latin music, into something that's like folky, something that's more of a comedy. I have a little I don't think you've heard this one yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah, this I'll play a little bit. This is called you've heard of Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer?
Oh yeah.
So this is called the Guy Whisperer. And
I love that.
I have this friend, and she lives in Hawaii, and she like always, her boyfriends are always more like pets, and she's always like, I'm not gonna date my dream guy because I have to stress too much. What if he leaves me or cheats on me? So I'm just gonna date a guy who's like not at my level, and that's what she said. And she's like, well, he'll be like a pet, and I can train him to be the way I want him to.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, oh, really?
I wonder how that's working out for her.
So I wrote her a song. It's called The Guy Whisperer. I just can't see why you're with him. A princess playing in the dirt. Is it because you can train him? Are you Caesar Milan in a skirt? You make him feel like he's a winner. You're the only star in his sky. But we all know that you're a sinner, 'cause you don't really love this guy. You're an insecure chick and your boyfriend's a dick. Do you really not get it? Are you really that thick? The same old song, try another station. You tell yourself it's love, but it's only masturbation.
That is awesome.
There's more of it.
Oh my God. No, I had not heard that.
Yeah, that's new.
That's
There's a lot of new
fantastic.
songs coming through. I'm sort of chronically inspired.
You sort of take every moment as a complete one in and of itself for your inspiration. You just don't really do the rules.
I never have done the rules. And the thing is, for me, the artistic process is not separate from life. Like the first of all, like the way I define the world, like there is no the world. There's only the world that I perceive. There is my version of the world. And the idea that there's some absolute static world that I have to figure out doesn't really work for me.
Right.
Like for me,
Doesn't really work for anybody, really.
I don't think it works for people. And so for me, it's redefining the world, but it's also redefining the self to include others. Like myself doesn't end at my flesh. Myself includes others. And so by redefining those two key elements of our perception, the world and the self, all of a sudden my whole perception and orientation changes. It's inclusive rather than exclusive. Rather than competitive, it becomes community oriented. It becomes, how do I integrate? How can I contribute? And like the well-being of others is tied to my well-being. My well-being is tied to theirs, and it just changes the dynamic of everything.
Yeah.
And that comes through in my music. And the other side of my music is, I'm really into activism, and it's a big word, activism, but I don't think of activism as political or going against corporations. Redefining activism for me is really about activating what your true passion is in yourself.
Really?
And then dedicating yourself to that. It's not about fixing problems. It's about expressing yourself in the form that works best for you.
Right. Because don't you find that identifying a problem suddenly either makes a problem where none really existed, or almost crystallizes and puts your focus in the wrong place?
Yes, it's how you frame things.
Yeah.
It's how you frame them. And like one of the trainings I did early on was to default react with gratitude. Like no matter what happens, an accident, I get a phone call, something gets canceled, whatever, something falls through, we're trying to film this and there's noise.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
What noise?
It's perfect because it's all about seeing that everything is a gift.
Yeah.
And that's what Makana means in Hawaiian, is a gift.
Wow. I did know that. I love that. I think you guys are going to like that too. In fact, you know what else you guys are going to really like? There's another song that is a little more well-known that was part of the movie The Descendents with George Clooney. And is this a good time for that?
We can talk about it, but it would probably take me an hour to get into that tuning.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell us, so what happened? How did that happen?
So
I'll play it out. Over the end of this, I'll play it.
Yeah, it's called Deep in an Ancient Hawaiian Forest, and we're here in this beautiful redwood forest. And really, I wrote this song years ago, and this is the beauty of the music industry, is this song just kind of sat on one of my albums, Venus and the Sky Turns to Clay, for years.
I have that album.
And all of a sudden I got a call from the music supervisor of the Descendents, and they were like, we went through 20,000 pieces of music, and yours the only song that fits at the end of the movie.
Wow.
George Clooney's film. So
wow.
It was really beautiful. They wanted to use all Hawaiian music for the film, which was awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No, and so it plays. So it's right at the end.
It plays for like over 5 minutes. I think it's like the
Really?
longest playing song in a movie ever.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
I want to share that with them before we go.
Okay.
A little bit of another song that kind of went big. It went viral on YouTube. It's called We Are the Many.
Yes.
And I sang this at World Leaders Dinner hosted by the Obamas for an APEC conference. If you want to get a good laugh, Google CNN Makana. Ye come here, gather round the stage. The time has come for us to voice our rage against the ones who've trapped us in a cage, to steal from us the value of our wage. From underneath the vesture of law, the lobbyists at Washington do gnaw at liberty, the bureaucrats guffaw. And until they are purged, we won't withdraw. We'll occupy the streets, we'll occupy the cause, we'll occupy the offices of you, till you do. Winning of the many, not the few. Little taste.
Love it, love it, love it. And again, if you look up Makana Music, right? MakanaMusic.com.
That's MAKANA.
MUSIC .com is everything that you'll ever want to see and know about Makana. Thank you for listening. And if you ever see that he's coming to your town, run, get a ticket and go. It'll be the best show you've ever seen. He is incredible. You also did a TEDx Maui.
I did.
And it's fantastic as well. You can find that on the TED site or online. There's no reason not to know about Makana and his fabulous work. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Karen.
doing this. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys too. Thank you for watching. Keep listening.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Did you know Shaka?
No.
You gotta put
like
the
this.
pinky out like
That way?
That's Hawaiian style.